Welcome to Thursday, the 11th of April, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who feel stuck in a 9 to 5 job, or maybe it's a business that they own that feels like a job. I help those people share their knowledge and experience on something that they're passionate about. It could be a hobby, a skill set, a profession, whatever it is they really enjoy doing. They want to share that knowledge and experience that they've got with other people around the world online and get paid doing it. So this morning earlier, I was on a call with one of my clients, and I want to share with you just a little framework that I worked with her on, which is a framework I use in my own business and I share with all of my clients as well. So I just want to give you a little framework to work on. If you're getting on those calls, you might be getting into a coaching program. You might already be in a coaching program. You might be your own coach, whatever it might be. You might be just starting out. You might be thinking about starting out in the online world. A lot of people have what we call discovery calls, strategy calls, getting on a free call to talk about helping people with their main problems, helping them with their challenges, and then inviting them into their program to help them with the solution. We all know that. So the framework I like to use really starts before actually getting on the call. And this 3-step or 3 reflections that I think will be helpful for you will help you minimize, I think, a lot of those calls that you get on where no action gets taken and you're very frustrated and it doesn't go according to plan. And I know from my own experience when I started online in 2018, for the first 2 years, I took hundreds of those calls, hundreds of them, and I found them very frustrating. One of the great things, though, of doing that was I've got the benefit to be able to share with you, share with my clients, put into my own business so that it actually doesn't happen. It happens very infrequently now because I set up this 3-step process. Okay, so the scenario is somebody wants to have a discovery call with you, strategy call. Immediately you get excited. Oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity. And the first thing we do is we think, let's get them on a call. At least that's what I did for the first 2 years. Okay, so the first thing you need to ask is, are they your ideal customer? And the 3 steps that I would suggest that you run through in your own mind before actually getting them on the call. Number 1 is, do they need and want what you've got? Do they need and want what you've got? I solve these 3 things by actually having a pre-qualification form, which is something I recommend to all my clients as well, so that people get pre-qualified before they get on a call. So do they need and want what you've got? And you've got to ask really good questions around that, because a lot of people want to get on calls with you, and some of it is just a talk fest. Some of it is just to offload where they are. Some of it is just to tell you about their story. And that can lead to a lot of frustration. So you need to find out, do they need and want what you've got? Number 1. I know that's common sense, but it's not always common practice. Number 2, you need to find out whether or not they're willing and able to pay. Because they might need and want what you've got, but you're going to get really frustrated if you invite them into your program and they don't have the ability to pay. They're not willing and able to pay. And how many times have you been on these calls and they say, when you raise the question of how much the investment is to come into your program, they say, I need to think about it. Very common response, I need to think about it. And usually in that situation, seriously, usually in that situation, the person actually doesn't know what it is they're saying. When they say, I need to think about it, usually subconsciously, it is that voice kicking in that says, this is uncomfortable. I have to make a decision. I have to join the program, or if I join the program, I've got to make a payment. So the way they get out of that is to subconsciously bring up that thought to say, I need to think about it. Usually there's not very much. If you've put together a very compelling invitation, there's usually not much to think about. And even if there is, you can answer those questions on the call. They don't need to go away and think about it. So just remember that when you're getting into that situation where people need to go away and think about it. Number 3, the big one that I always ask is, are you ready to get started now? Are you ready to get started now? You really know your ideal customer because they've got a problem that's so large that they are ready to get started now. And I always use this analogy. If you've got a toothache and it's so bad and it's a Friday evening and you cannot wait till Monday for a dentist to be able to work on your tooth because of the toothache is so bad, you don't say, I need to go away and think about it. You say, I'm ready to get the problem solved now. That is so important when you are talking to your ideal customers on those calls. So number one, make sure that they need and want what you've got. Number two, make sure they're willing and able to pay. And number three, make sure they're ready to get started now. I know that, as I say, for the first 2 years of my career in the online world, I spent hundreds of calls and I couldn't actually kick these things into play because I didn't know what these things were. And it's only because I found them out through the hard work that I can share them with you today. I can share them with my clients. I install them in my own business. And it's really important to ask those questions in a pre-qualification format before you get people on a call. Hopefully that's been helpful for you today. If it has, then maybe you can share what your comments are. And as always, one of the things that I love about this online space is the ability to be able to share what we know online and to be able to do it on a social media platform, whatever that social media platform is. It just gives us this platform that we can talk to thousands of people and share and help and provide good information. One of my favorites is LinkedIn. I love the platform, but a lot of people, I think high 90s, are not using it correctly. And they're not using it correctly because they haven't optimized their profile. That's why I've created a free resource. It's a one-page LinkedIn profile audit. There's a link below here where you just need to click on the link, download it for free. Hundreds of people have done it. And thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. I'll put that link below here. And all you need to do is download it for free, and you'll know if your profile on LinkedIn is optimized. Hopefully that's helpful for you today. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow, Friday. Bye-bye.